Meeting to order. In compliance with the Open Public Meetings Law of New Jersey, notice of this March 23rd, 2026 meeting of the Millburn Township Board of Education was posted electronically on the district website and provided on January 12th, 2026 by sending notices to the Millburn Short Hills Item, the Star Ledger, the Millburn Short Hills Independent Press, and the Township Clerk, along with posting at the Education Center. Would you all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? Thank you. May I have a motion and a second to approve the following BOE minutes? Mr. Casson, Mr. Finkelstein? Any discussion? Roll call, please. Oh, yes, absolutely. Ms. Longley-Richards?
Are we able to make an amendment to the minutes as presented?
Yes, please.
Just explain what it is.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks like it was left off that my name was on the staff development that was approved last meeting, and that I also recused myself from that vote.
Thank you very much. If we could make that amendment. And so do we need to do another motion or just?
It's just a motion to approve the amended minutes.
Yes. Okay. So could I have a motion and a second to approve the amended minutes? Mr. Bigman, Ms. Shivani? Any other discussion? Roll call, please. Mr. Stars?
Mr. Bigman?
Yes.
Mr. Casson?
Yes.
Mr. Finkelstein?
Yes.
Ms. Huang?
Yes.
Mr. Lawrence?
Abstain since I was not here.
Ms. Longley-Richards?
Yes.
Ms. Shivani?
Yes.
Ms. Speltz?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Thank you. Dr. Diskin, would you like to introduce our presentations for this evening?
Sure, I would love to. So tonight we have three presentations, the first being a student recognition, which I will go to the podium and talk about, our tentative budget for the 26-27 school year, and then a presentation given by the curriculum and instruction team, One Millburn, Many Cultures. I would like to take this opportunity to invite Arabella Braca, our Essex County Unsung Hero recipient, to the front. All right. So I'd like to introduce to you Arabella Braca. She is our Essex County Unsung Hero recipient. This honor is presented to Essex County School Boards from the Essex County School Boards Association in partnership with the New Jersey School Boards Association and the Essex County School Boards Association, which celebrates students whose impact is not always in the spotlight, but is felt every day in meaningful and lasting ways. It recognizes young people who lead with character, show resilience, and quietly make their school's communities stronger. That description truly captures who Arabella is. She is someone who is consistently showing kindness, integrity, and a genuine commitment to others, and she does it not for recognition, but because that's just simply who she is. Arabella was formally honored on March 12th at Verona High School, where she was joined by her parents, Principal Nixon, former Principal Dr. Myron, and her guidance counselor, Caitlin Riley, who had the honor of presenting her with the award. Ms. Riley was unable to be here with us this evening, but she did share words during the celebration that are important to reflect on tonight. She spoke about Arabella's incredible strength in the face of profound loss. After the tragic, unexpected passing of her father last spring, Arabella's resilience and grace have been nothing short of extraordinary, even while navigating her own grief. She continued to show up each day as a dedicated student, a committed teammate, and a steady source of comfort in the school's guidance suite. She offered encouragement to younger classmates, answered questions, and lifted the spirits of anyone who walked through that door. Ms. Riley described Arabella as someone whose compassion, quiet leadership, and unwavering positivity have made her an unsung hero for the class of 2026, and a bright light in our entire school community. Arabella, we are incredibly proud of you. Thank you for the positive impact you've given to our school and to our community. I wish you the very best. Congratulations. All right, very good. Thank you. Yeah, where are you going to go? Okay, great. Well, enjoy.
If I may, they're incredibly lucky to have you. You are a very, very special young person, and we are just incredibly lucky to have you as a part of our community. Thank you for everything you are and everything you do. Thank you.
So we're just going to stay up here and do the presentation for the budget. I need glasses for this one. All right, so good evening. Tonight we are here to present to you the 26-27 tentative budget, which goes into effect for next school year. So Mr. Peter Stars, our interim business administrator, and I will give you some statistics, some data, and some examples of how and what the budget supports this year. As you know, Mr. Stars talked about the timeline, and I'm going to turn it over to him. He's going to talk. We are on 3/23/26, which is the board approval of a tentative budget.
At our meeting in January, we spoke of this process as well. So we are now 2 steps further. We received our state aid on March 12th, 2026. Shortly thereafter, we had a meeting with the Finance Committee to finalize this tentative budget that we have before you today. Assuming this gets approved tonight, we will submit it to the County Department of Ed later this week. They will then do their review, provide any comments that they have, and then give us the okay to publish the tentative budget so that people have time to review it in time for the public hearing that's scheduled for May 4th, 2026. And we'll have continued conversations and gather public input between now and then to hear what the thoughts are on the budget. Our last possible day to submit the approved budget is May 14th. The intention of this slide is to depict the scope and size of the operation. A current budget of $112 million is used to educate 4,400 students, pay 891 employees, maintain and keep the heat and lights on for over 800,000 square feet of buildings, along with transporting safely 2,100 students daily.
As we know, our district goals, both our district goals and our board goals, help to support the budget. While we know that these are last year's or this current school year's district goals, we have to base it on that continuation of the continual operations of efficiency, the academic culture and climate, and of course we know that the strategic plan will be completed. So this represents a lot of what's been talked about in the strategic planning units, as well as maintaining those other district goals. Once a district goal is done, it's never over, right? It just continues and evolves over time. As well as the board goals, this budget supports those things that have been put into place and those things that will continue. Our priorities, a budget is typically developed, as you know, staffing is the highest, which Peter will talk about in a moment, but staffing and personnel is the highest money spending in a budget. But some of the priorities that we worked this budget around was to think about the shifts in enrollment. What are some of the things that we are going to do in order to make sure that our students are continuously have spots in classrooms and make sure that class size remains relatively stable. We think about ongoing curriculum and writing and the development of those programs. With the expansion of our APs, our dual enrollments, and our world language curriculum, we look to make sure that that is maintained and a priority in this budget. We also look at our assessment and student support systems, where that includes our benchmarking systems that we use, such as iReady or MAP, and some of those assessments. And that helps us to monitor student growth, and when we think about how we look to promote student excellence. And also we think about our enrichment and our specialized projects, which strengthen our electives, our art, our science, and our music, and also our multilingual learners. You know, enrollment adjustments are always considered as part of building a budget as well. So, and Peter will talk about capital.
Yes, so we continue to maintain and improve the facilities and our sites. This budget provides for a continuation of the high school roof replacement project. We also anticipate the replacement of asbestos floor tiles, specifically at the middle school. We intend to replace cracked sidewalks that are turning into trip hazards throughout the district. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention the joint turf field project that this board has committed over $3 million towards. However, this project is not, I repeat, is not part of the operating budget. This project is already funded through our capital reserve account.
And three more big buckets that we look at when we look at building a budget is our personnel, our technology infrastructure, and our transportation. And all of this, the budget will maintain the high standards, will meet our salary and benefit obligations, supports our infrastructure and replacement schedules for our technology, and maintains the current services of transportation. And in general, once again, this budget supports the salary increases that were negotiated with all contracts, our health insurance increase, our property insurance, the services and supplies and utilities, as well as in curriculum instruction. We think about the impact our staffing has across with using our curriculum and instruction and our access, so that increases some of the courses and some of the staffing there, and thinking about the additional alignment for curriculum and the continuity across our schools. And of course, health and wellness is at the heart of all we do, in continuing our student support services and supporting social emotional learning. And another summary, we continue to support positions for the added prior budgets, for the positions that were added in our prior organizational restructure, maintaining strong special educational staffing, ongoing alignment to support the efficiencies in our schools, and then that continued alignment of curriculum and assessment as we look to expand and continue to expand access. Again, student-centered supports being our focus of social emotional, guidance counselors, and maintaining those elementary counseling supports, with the anticipation that we will look for efficiencies to hopefully add to those.
So the key budget drivers, none of these should be a surprise to anyone, but these expenses are causing the need for increases. We have medical insurance that is just went up 26% effective February 1st, and we have prescription increases that are going to occur July 1st of 30%. Contractual salary increases, the recently bargained agreements, we were looking at about 3.4% contractual salary increases, and then we have utility cost increases. As everybody is aware, New Jersey electricity rates have had double-digit increases over the past 24 months. Northeast fuels and utility inflation from February to February is almost 6%, and right now there is no signs of this slowing down. So these are the main drivers of our budget increases. Then we jump into the numbers here. This has tried to, slide here has tried to just narrow put the $117 million in perspective here as far as percentage of total budget and change from prior year. The two big large increases are the benefit and the administration category. We spoke about benefits, and as you know, we've taken actions necessary, leaving the state plan, to provide us flexibility and hopefully more control of our own destiny in the future. We had joined the school health insurance pool with approximately 40 other districts, which will give us a better opportunity and more control of our destiny there. In regards to the administration category, this line is now inclusive of technology licensing that wasn't recorded here previously. These are things for district-wide impact like licensing our network switches, our virtual servers, and data storage. So that alone is $300,000 of that increase. The remaining differential would be just a salary type of typical standard increases there. So those are the main large numbers that are percentage changes there. The other ones are all fairly straightforward, and we get into that by looking at this. So labor costs, 81% of the budget. Everything else, anything else you can think of outside of salaries and benefits, 19% of the budget. This will include utilities, supplies, textbooks, professional development, maintenance and upkeep, contracted services. It's a similar slide you would see through any school district in the state of New Jersey. So how is all this funded? We turn to the revenues. No surprise here, majority is through your local taxes, $105 million. This is the 2% tax levy max plus the allowable health benefit waiver of $3.5 million. We see that state aid was reduced again this year by 3%, down to $7.1 million. Then we get into the smaller areas. Budgeted fund balance is a calculation performed each year with the completion of the audit. We have tuitions. We have a couple students that come from another district to partake in our program here. Facility rentals, subscription busing, and miscellaneous, which includes interest income and the like. Similar to last year, we are using $300,000 from our maintenance reserve account and the $580,000 from our capital reserve to continue some projects in the next year. That totals $117.9 million, an increase of $5.7 million. Again, another representative of the depiction of the revenues there. 89.7% is coming from taxes. State aid continues to go down at 6.1%, and everything else is the 4.3%. So unfortunately, this is probably a little, the tax piece here is bigger than most places, unfortunately. And with the decline in state aid, I hope it gets better. I'm not optimistic. So the tax impact. Our school fiscal year is July to June, which splits 2 years. Thus, we need to split the tax levy from current school year and the upcoming year to determine the 2026 tax impact. So as you can see, our current year total tax levy, when you include debt service, is $104 million. This upcoming year that we're projecting is $110 million, an increase of 5.26%. I'll note that the debt service tax levy went down for this upcoming year, and that's due in part to two things. We had additional interest earned on the bonds that are being used to reduce that, and we also got about $30,000 in additional debt service aid from the state. So when you split that among the years, it equates to $107 million being asked for the 2026 calendar year, and then we do the tax estimated school tax impact on a $100,000 assessment, and it looks right now it's at 35.49 cents per every 100,000. So if you had a home that's assessed at $1 million, your tax increase would be $355 for this budget that we are proposing.
Again, the comprehensive budget provides for the continued academic excellence that we thrive here in Millburn with, the innovation that we look forward to while being fiscally responsible. I will say that we have gotten some aid numbers in from other school districts, and we are actually below many of them in our surrounding area. Do you want to speak about that?
Yeah, just for informational purposes, we did the business administrators did a survey, and with 18, I think it was 18 respondents, and these are all in the local area. 7 of the respondents were presenting tax levy increases over 6%. 7 were scheduled to have a tax levy over 5%, and the remaining 4 were under 5%. So this is unfortunately commonplace with the health benefit increases that the school districts are seeing throughout this state, that a big burden of it's falling on the local taxpayer.
And that concludes our presentation. We'd like to open it up for questions if you have any. Sure. Go ahead.
I would like to start off by saying I appreciate you all prioritizing the quality of education that our students get. I know this is going to be a tough run, but it's really important that we ensure that our staff and our resources continue to provide our kids with the excellent education to which we've become accustomed and why most of us moved here. So we appreciate that. Any questions? Ms. Longley Richards.
I'm just curious, the health waiver this year was in the millions where it was way less last year. I was just wondering what that differential was about.
I can only tell you that the calculation is based on the state rate increase. So this past year, the state rate increase was 30%, and then you subtract out the 2%. So they basically give you like a 28% of your cost to use as a waiver. I'm not sure what it was last year here. I don't think the rate increase wasn't that significant last year as far as 30%.
Just to clarify, do you want to comment on that?
This year was a significant increase versus last year. Actually, if we were stayed in state pool, it was close to about 30%. Fortunately, we did go out and had a savings of about 4% from the state pool. And we do expect that hopefully to go down next year. But to answer your question, the prior year was a much smaller increase compared to this year.
Thank you, Mr. Lawrence. Any other questions? Ms. Shivani.
Just a comment. Thank you, Mr. Stars and Finance Committee. This is, as everyone can see, it's probably a rough ride ahead. Not the best of times, but we really appreciate your due diligence in making sure that we have control on the finances and we being transparent about that with the community. So thanks for that.
And circling back to what Mr. Lawrence said, I also appreciate the proactive approach that you all are taking as far as looking at other health benefits propositions and also looking at other efficiencies that we can find to just ensure that the kids remain the focus.
Great. I'm sorry.
Ms. Wang?
In terms of the health insurance, the number, I just want to give the public the numbers. Like last year, the health insurance, the number is, let me see, it's about 12 million. 12.2 million, the health insurance, and this year it's kind of increased to 22.1 million. So that's basically the how the in-health benefits the number. That's what I saw in the.
Yeah, I think it was more like 16 million to about 20.
Oh yes, yeah, 16, yeah. So that's you can see like 3.9 million increase.
And that's a substantial increase that
that's
districts
why,
across the state are facing.
Yeah, that's why these years we have increase.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I think you're going to continue to see this over the next few years, if not being a standard practice, especially with loss of state aid and things of that nature coming down the pike. If there are no other questions, I'd love to introduce Mr. Connolly and his CNI team.
Before one more quick question, Mr. Finkelstein?
Or you could, you just said expect, maybe budget increases, not 25% increases in healthcare going forward. I hope not.
We certainly hope not.
Yeah, okay.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you. Tonight's presentation is historically a presentation that we give right around this time of year. And it is entitled One Millburn, Many Cultures. I'm pleased to bring up Ms. Graff, Ms. Susie Lopez-Glenn, Mr. Greg Mulford and Ms. Kristen Brindelson to the podium to present this presentation, which really provides for a visual representation of how we incorporate our diversity, our inclusivity into the work. This is obviously not everything that we do, but a great snapshot to give you a little peek into what's going on around the classrooms throughout the district K-12. So without further ado, Ms. Graff, take it away.
Thank you, Mr. Connolly. Good evening. This presentation, like Mr. Connolly said, it's going to highlight the diversity and inclusion throughout the district. In Millburn, we do not just celebrate diversity and inclusion on a day or a month. It is interwoven throughout our curriculum throughout the entire year. And it really starts in the classroom with the teachers and the students. And it's how they have conversations with one another and how kids talk to each other and they accept each other for who they are. And I want to thank the principals, the staff, the teachers, the students, supervisors for all contributing to this presentation. You'll see a lot of great things going on in the classroom. And again, like Mr. Connolly said, this is a snapshot. It's not everything, because we'd be here for the whole night, but it is a snapshot of some of the things that we do. So in Deerfield, diversity and inclusion is the heart of what they do at Deerfield School. It starts broadly at the whole school level, and the school prioritizes and promotes equity and inclusion throughout interactive whole school meetings, as you can see some of those pictures up there, engaging daily morning announcements, celebratory whole school initiatives, and much more. These whole school initiatives pave the path for classroom and individual celebrations of diversity through multicultural celebrations, read-alouds in the classroom, lessons, and presentations. Families partner with classroom teachers and students to provide rich and engaging multicultural presentations that ultimately make for lasting and meaningful learning experiences. We are very, very grateful in Millburn that we have such strong family interactions, and the homeschool connection is great, which is amazing. Deerfield recently celebrated Black History Month through lessons on Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., leader of the civil rights movements, and lessons on diversity, equity, and inclusion. Engaging read-alouds have sparked deep and meaningful conversations in all of the classrooms. They have also celebrated the Lunar New Year by making Play-Doh dumplings in kindergarten, colorful lanterns in 1st and 2nd grade, and traditional red envelopes in many classrooms. Such celebrations extend to Muslim Heritage Month, where students explore culture through various read-alouds paired with thought-provoking questions and activities. Deerfield prioritizes inclusion and celebrates its strong and rich diversity. I'm now going to bring up Ms. Lopez-Glenn.
Hi, good evening. Moving along to Glenwood. At Glenwood, we honor and celebrate the many cultures, voices, and stories that make our community strong. These photos capture meaningful moments from across our school year. Our 1st grade multicultural dance residency, where students explored global traditions through movement, classroom read-alouds, and curated book collections celebrating the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and other important historical figures, and World Read Aloud Day with Miss Emanuelides, who shared stories centered on kindness and acceptance using the book Each Kindness, written by Jacqueline Woodson. Our commitment to inclusion continues through the cross-grade partnerships, like our kindergarten and 3rd grade buddies collaboration on their I Have a Dream projects to honor Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., sharing hopes, dreams, and messages of unity with one another. Glenwood continues to celebrate the richness of our diverse community through shared experiences and meaningful traditions. These photos highlight our joyful Lunar New Year celebrations, where students learned about cultural customs and the importance of family, renewal, and hope. Classrooms also welcomed parents who shared about their traditions and taught students about the importance of Lunar New Year. We were also fortunate to welcome Tahira from young audiences during Black History Month, whose stories and songs beautifully brought students together, using the power of music and storytelling to build an understanding and connection across differences. Our whole school meeting in February, led by our 3rd graders, focused on the theme kindness and caring in our community. It further reinforced what makes Glenwood special, a strong, caring community where every student belongs. Together, we celebrate our differences, lift one another up, and continue to grow as a united school family. Moving now to Hartshorn, Dr. Malucci and Ms. Bostory shared digital read-aloud of Martin's Big Words by Doreen Rappaport in honor of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday. Martin's Big Words introduces students to the power of using kind and brave words. Students were invited by their teachers to talk about what big words mean and how they can use kind words and actions to help others at school. The Hartshorn PTO sponsored a Hip Hop Fundamentals Assembly for grade 3 and 4 students. Through dance, music, and audience participation, students learned about the American Civil Rights Movement, peaceful protest, and the powerful words of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. This engaging and interactive experience encouraged students to reflect on fairness, inclusion, and standing up for others in peaceful ways. In honor of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Hartshorn kindergarteners worked alongside their 3rd and 4th grade buddies to create beautiful kindness trees. Partnered together, the children shared smiles, conversations, and teamwork as they decorated leaves and wrote thoughtful ways they show kindness to others. Through this meaningful activity, we hope that we can keep Dr. King's dream alive by spreading kindness, respect, and love throughout our school and beyond, one kind act at a time. Additionally, Dr. Malucci and Ms. Bostory shared a second read-aloud this month to honor New Jersey Muslim American Heritage Month. The Proudest Blue by Ibtihaj Muhammad helps students learn about pride, courage, and celebrating who we are. Teachers engage students in post-read-aloud discussions on what it means to show respect and appreciation for different cultures. Thank you to the Millburn Short Hills Chinese Association for visiting Hartshorn and bringing such an exciting dragon dance parade to our school, featuring many of our students in celebration of Lunar New Year. Hartshorn students also welcomed back Li Liu for a one-woman acrobatic performance, Traditions of Chinese Acrobats. Students were amazed by her talented demonstrations of hand balancing, plate spinning, ribbon dancing, and foot juggling. Dr. Malucci and Ms. Bostory also shared a digital read-aloud of May Among the Stars by Rhoda Ahmed in honor of both World Read Aloud Day and Black History Month. Through this read-aloud, students were encouraged to dream big and persevere as they learned about Dr. Mae Jemison's inspiring journey to become an astronaut and the first African-American woman to travel to space. And moving now to South Mountain. South Mountain School has a long-standing commitment to celebrating diversity, equity, and inclusion. It is truly a part of the fabric of our daily work from pre-K through grade 4. Across classrooms and school-wide experiences, students engage in learning that honors cultures, traditions, and perspectives through reading, writing, social studies, art, music, movement, and shared celebrations. Throughout the year, students participate in meaningful recognitions of DEI. Recently, the focus has been Martin Luther King Day, Black History Month, Lunar New Year, and the New Jersey Muslim American Heritage Month. Our Lunar New Year celebration brought the community together as students wore red, participated in a joyful dragon dance, and created traditional Chinese lanterns in their classrooms. However, this work is thread throughout the year. For example, Ms. Fiore and Ms. Bostory thoughtfully curate read-aloud experiences that highlight diverse cultures and identities, including selections such as How Alma Got Her Name during Hispanic Heritage Month. Our PTO partners with us on this learning and sponsoring rich cultural assemblies. These experiences reflect our belief that celebrating diversity strengthens our community and enriches student learning.
Hello, Kristen Brynelson. I'm the social studies supervisor. I'm going to share with you about Wyoming. So Wyoming School continues to intentionally foster cultural awareness, representation, and belonging through meaningful instruction and experiences. Students across grade levels explored the life and legacy of Martin Luther King Jr. through books, articles, videos, poetry, and classroom discussions. They reflected on his message of kindness, fairness, and equity by writing their own I Have a Dream statement or essays about their dreams for the world. Classes also learned about important historical figures such as Rosa Parks and discussed segregation in the civil rights movement in age-appropriate ways. Along with the support of Ms. Muller and Ms. Policastro, the Student Council taught the school all about Habit 4, Think Win-Win, during a whole school meeting. A win-win school community values cultural differences. When each student feels they belong, they are free to contribute their spark, which strengthens our entire Wyoming school community. Multicultural learning extended beyond civil rights to global cultures and artists. Wyoming students learned Diwali dances performed to celebrate the Festival of Lights. Students explored and were inspired by international artists, including South Korean artist Julian Choi and Japanese artist Keiji Kusama, broadening their understanding of the artistic expression across cultures. Students read stories celebrating Mexican and Hispanic heritage, and thanks to the Millburn Short Hills Chinese Association, students enjoyed the dragon dance while learning about Lunar New Year. Classrooms intentionally foster inclusive environments by incorporating diverse books, celebrating cultural traditions, inviting families to share their heritage, and emphasizing that all students are respected, represented, and valued. Additionally, bilingual poems were shared to celebrate multilingualism and honor classmates who speak multiple languages. Wyoming School prides itself on its vast diversity across the grade levels. All right, Washington. At Washington School, the spirit of inclusion and valuing differences was enriched by our parent members of the Muslims of Millburn and Short Hills, who organized a thoughtful Ramadan awareness breakfast for staff, fostering a deeper understanding of our Muslim neighbors' traditions. The PTO generously sponsored a celebration of liberty by hosting freedom stories performed by Tahira from young audiences. Through compelling storytelling and coded freedom songs like John the Rabbit, students explored the bravery of those who resisted inequality during the Civil Rights Movement and the Underground Railroad. This is a way to supplement our learning around Black History Month. A spirited dragon dance assembly continued across all 6 elementary schools to Washington School. It was generously sponsored by the Millburn Short Hills Chinese Association. As we gallop into 2026, the year of the horse, the rhythmic drums and soaring dragons brought a surge of energy and enthusiasm to our halls, embodying the horse's spirit of freedom. Our students and their teacher, Ms. Kim, created a Lunar New Year presentation that showcased learning, culture, and creativity across several Asian cultures. The students shared their history, cultural traditions, and global significance of Lunar New Year. They collaborated to develop visuals and activities that explain traditions such as the calendar, red envelopes, family reunions, and symbolic foods and customs. It was wonderful to see their confidence grow as they presented to their peers. The project was a beautiful way to build cultural awareness, respect, and appreciation for shared traditions within our classroom community. Lastly, students began explore the ancient art of Chinese calligraphy in their art classes. The lesson was taught by calligraphy artist Hao Tsang and designed to be more than a technical lesson. It was a celebration of heritage and patience. This project sits at the very heart of our school mission by engaging with an art form that has shaped centuries of history. Students are practicing how to value and honor differences. We believe that by understanding the traditions of others, our students grow in empathy and global awareness. Right, moving on to the middle school. MMS students had many opportunities to honor the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. In various classrooms, students connected their learning to Dr. King's work. For example, 8th grade social studies classes learned about how to legislate for a holiday using the specific historical example of the movement to establish MLK Jr. Day as a federal holiday. In Art 6, Ms. Riley's students participated in a community circle project, creating colorful MLK circles with messages that connect Dr. King's message to our community and our world. In Core 7 and 8, students learned about the history of the piece We Shall Overcome, how it became an anthem in the Civil Rights Movement. For Lunar New Year, Core 7 peer leaders sponsored a t-shirt design contest. 2026 is the year of the horse, so our theme is a year of the Mustang. The winning design was created by 8th grader Arna Padri. Here in the photograph are some of our Mustangs in their comfy new gear. For Black History Month, the National African American Read-In is a groundbreaking effort to encourage communities to read together, centering African American books and authors. MMS participates in the AARI each year. We're also happy to announce a special cultural arts assembly featuring the Sankofi storytellers. MMS students were treated to a storytelling presentation of multicultural and African American tales on February 27th. Sankofa translates to go back and fetch it. This represents the wisdom of learning from the past in order to build a better future. Sankofa is often depicted as a bird with its head turned backwards, taking an egg from its back. This symbolizes the importance of connecting with history so that we can move forward. During Muslim Heritage Month, students in 6th grade social studies classes conducted research and created presentations in honor of the month. They were proud to share their findings with their classmates. The staff was also treated to a Ramadan awareness breakfast sponsored by Muslim parents and students. Earlier this year, our Well peer leaders created a fun interactive display in honor of Diwali. We also had a delicious Diwali lunch sponsored by our generous parents. January 27th was International Holocaust Remembrance Day. MMS was proudly honored to welcome Mr. Mark Schoenwetter and his daughter Isabel. Mr. Schoenwetter is a Holocaust survivor who courageously shared his personal story with our 8th grade students.
Thank you, Ms. Brendelson. So we're going to talk a little bit about the high school and their cultural celebrations. And I also want to thank Ms. Holness, who does a great job each year of leading activities that really celebrate diversity, inclusion, and various cultures within the high school. The Black Student Union led activities throughout the month of February that culminated in the Week of Action, which ran from February 23rd to the 27th. Each day focused on highlighting the incredible achievements of Black Americans in a different area, including art, music, literature, business, and activism. The culminating activity was a panel discussion featuring Black professionals from the fields of medicine, business, and finance. And I was able to attend this last year, and it really was a great experience. The students were able to ask questions, and it was a great opportunity for any student who wanted to attend in Millburn High School. In addition, the Muslims of Millburn and Short Hills helped highlight the cultural celebrations associated with Ramadan, which featured a staff breakfast sponsored by Momash. The high school staff were treated with bagels as well as traditional treats such as dates, figs, and scones. On the right, you see a picture of Holocaust survivor Mark Schoenwetter. The human rights class hosted 2 powerful sessions focused on resilience and global history. On December 3rd, Holocaust survivor Mark Schoenwetter and his daughter, Isabella Fisk, shared Mr. Schoenwetter's personal journey of survival. They also discussed the mission of the Mark Schoenwetter Holocaust Education Foundation, which advocates for historical awareness and empathy. On January 9th, Millburn alumna Ranib Khattab, currently studying international relations and human rights at American University, spoke about her experiences as a Syrian refugee. She provided a deeply personal look at the migrant crisis and the complex history of Syria. We do so many amazing things in this district, so it's great that we get to highlight a fraction of what we do here tonight. And next, I want to bring up Mr. Mulford, who is our Visual and Performing Arts Supervisor, K-12.
Good evening, everyone. Ooh, hot mic. Across the district, art plays a critical role in advancing diversity, equity, and inclusion by giving students both a mirror to see themselves and a window into the experience of others. At the elementary level, students engage in culturally connected projects such as Chinese calligraphy, lantern making, and multicultural self-portraits. They also study global artists and traditions, which helps broaden their understanding of artistic expression across cultures. As students move through the district, art becomes a way to connect identity, history, and social awareness. For example, middle school students create projects tied to Dr. King's message and community themes, while high school students explore traditions like Mexican albrejas and other culturally significant art forms. Most importantly, these experiences are not isolated. They are integrated with classroom learning and cultural celebrations throughout the year. Visiting artists and hands-on experiences further deepen authenticity and engagement. Music across the district serves as a powerful tool for connection, cultural understanding, and historical awareness. Students experience music as part of cultural celebrations like Lunar New Year and Diwali, often through performances, dance, and interactive assemblies that bring traditions to life. Music is also deeply connected to social studies and DEI learning. For example, students study songs like We Shall Overcome to understand the role music played in the civil rights movement, and they participate in assemblies that use storytelling and song to highlight themes of resilience, justice, and unity. Live performances and artist residencies, such as those through young audiences and cultural storytelling programs, give students meaningful, real-world connections to diverse voices and traditions. At the secondary level, the curriculum continues to highlight the contributions of Black artists and the impact of diverse musical genres on American music. Through these experiences, music helps build empathy and teaches students how to appreciate different cultures.
And if you'd like any more information regarding what we put into our curriculum and how we meet the mandates and laws, you can always go to our CNI website under curriculum instruction and assessments. And that concludes our presentation for tonight. And I want to thank again the administrators, teachers, and staff, and the students who contributed to this presentation. Thank you.
Thank you so much. There's a lot going on in our schools. It's really impressive to see. Any questions or comments? Ms. Longley Richards?
Well, I wrote a bunch. So thank you so much. I mean, to all the directors, this is amazing. I loved seeing just how we're celebrating everyone in Millburn. So I think I've always considered Millburn to be a little bit like a mini UN. Like there's just everybody here. And I think that that's really the best part about being in Millburn is there are so many different cultures here. I'm so proud of our DEI work because a school where every student feels that they are represented and belongs is a school that truly does support education for all. And I also want to thank Mr. Mulford. I think this is the first time I've ever seen a music curriculum and what we're doing in music in Millburn up on a screen at the Board of Ed. So I just wanted to thank specifically Mr. Mulford for that. I think that that's fantastic. So thank you very much. Oh, and I missed that Mustang gear at the middle school. So if anyone's got a lead on an extra shirt, I would love that. That was just my little plug.
Thank you. Ms. Shivani?
Yeah, I echo what Ms. Longley Richards said. I just one observation with given everything that's happening in the world, as we know, there is a lot of strife and conflict, and it's really important that we keep the community together through these efforts. So really appreciate your efforts and keeping that unity going. Thanks a lot.
Any other comments? I will just close with, I did have the opportunity to attend a few of the Lunar New Year parades at some of the elementary school, and it is incredible the value that our families and our local organizations are able to bring into the schools. It was completely organized by the Millburn Short Hills Chinese Association, as I'm sure you heard, and it was fabulous. And the kids were so excited and really enjoyed it, and the kids who participated worked really, really hard to be a part of it. It was just incredibly exciting to see. So a really big shout out to everyone who contributes to making this the special place that it is.
Thank you.
So for my board president report, we'll keep it very, very short tonight. I just would like to give a little notice that as we go through everything and look at all of our processes and efficiencies and everything else, one of the items that we're going to do is to, as you're going to hear in the finance and facilities notes, is that we are going to begin an RFP process for our auditing and attorney services. This is due diligence. It's good practice to do this with our professional services every 3 to 5 years. And so that's what we're going to do because we want to make sure we're doing the best thing for our students and our community. And that concludes my report. Dr. Diskin.
Yes, good evening. Thank you to everyone who presented. Really a nice job. I just want to remind everyone, the community, that March 30th is an early dismissal day. It is our makeup emergency day, which happened to be a snow day, but it is an early dismissal for students. So please make sure that everyone has a place to be picked up and knows what they need to do. Kindergarten registration is open and will close on April 1st. It's a reminder that all incoming kindergarten students must be registered, even if you have other children enrolled in the district. Early registration helps us anticipate the enrollment plan so that we can plan for the number of kindergartners enrolled in our school this fall. So please help to spread the word for friends and neighbors. A strategic planning update. I just wanted to provide a brief update on our strategic planning process. We're getting really close to the end of what has been a very thoughtful and fulfilling process. Over the past several months, our core planning team have spent a great deal of time reviewing data, identifying priorities, and working collaboratively to shape the future in the direction of the district. We have one more core team planning session scheduled for April 9th, which will focus on continuing to refine our work as we move forward for our goals for next year and the upcoming years. In addition, the public will have the opportunity to directly hear from TMI Education, who has been facilitating this process at the April 6th Board of Education meeting. They'll be sharing an update on the progress, the work we've completed thus far, and work to bring together this community and sharing final outcomes with the board and the community towards the end of the school year. Upcoming Fireside Chat is April 7th. Taking a moment to invite our community to our next Fireside Chat, which will take place on Tuesday, April 7th from 1 to 2 p.m. at the Bauer Center. The session is going to feature how technology and AI are being used in our classrooms, discussing our district approach to digital responsibility, citizenship, and offering practical tips for families to support healthy technology use at home. These conversations continue to be a great opportunity to hear from our community and for connection and learning. On tonight's agenda, we have received a generous donation from King's. This donation is part of their Nourishing Neighbors campaign and was in the form of $25 King's gift cards to be used for food insecurity. We've distributed $100 to each free and reduced student, and the remainder was given to principals for use of their discretion in distributing and using for our students. Upcoming events, Tuesday, March 24th is Washington Treps Market at 5 p.m. The 25th is our district-wide choral festival concert at 7 p.m. And Monday is our early dismissal. Enjoy spring break. And we look forward to seeing you as spring has blossomed. Spring has sprung.
Thank you so much. We can move on to our board reports. We will start with the program committee with Mr. Finkelstein, please.
Sorry, great, thank you. Program committee met Thursday, March 19th at 2 p.m. Attendees were myself, Andrew Finkelstein, Mr. Bigman, Ms. Longley Richards, and Ms. Shivani on the committee, and from the administration, Mr. Connolly, Assistant Superintendent. On the agenda was an early look at the One Millburn Many Cultures presentation that we heard tonight. The One Millburn Many Cultures visually highlights diverse work and efforts of our teachers and students to promote a culture and climate of inclusivity, which we all saw, which was fantastic, I should add as well. Next, we got an update on the high school level change waiver and expansion on a limited basis to the upcoming 9th graders. Next, on grading and assessment, Mr. Connolly reviewed feedback from the teachers on a proposal for updates to the assessment guidelines and also proposed some counter proposals. The committee provided feedback, and Mr. Connolly was planning to work with the CNI team to continue working with teachers to develop a final proposal. Next, ELA K-5 program update. The K through 5 English Language Arts program evaluation conducted with For the Love of Literacy LLC is in progress, with classroom walkthroughs and site visits completed at 4 of 6 elementary schools and remaining visits scheduled for later in March. Key strengths and next steps for professional learning are being identified, with virtual focus groups planned for April 9th and final report expected in mid-April 2026. Initiatives at the guidance department. Mrs. Soa provided the committee with a document that updated guidance and counseling initiatives across the district. These include potential professional development from outside college advisors and the creation of internal data reports on college admissions. It also detailed efforts to network with other high-performing school districts, host panels of college representatives, and secure grant funding for counselor visits to colleges. Additionally, the update outlined plans for a Board of Education presentation in June and the next steps for analyzing potential curriculum changes to the CPA offerings for the 2027-2028 school year. Curriculum Connections newsletter. Mr. Connolly shared with the committee a copy of the internal Curriculum Connection newsletter, which highlights initiatives from around the district. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now for the Finance, Facilities, and Sustainability Committee, Mr. Lawrence.
Thank you. We met on March 17th at 7 p.m. The Board member attendees were myself, Mr. Bigman, Mr. Farashuda, and Mrs. Wang. Admin was Mr. Stars. The committee discussed and reviewed the 26-27 budget, revenues, and expenditures, along with the tax impact. The committee also conversed about future opportunities for staffing efficiencies with declining enrollment. The committee supported the 2026-27 tentative budget for approval on Monday evening. Next, the committee discussed the RFP received for the demographic study. We only received one, and we recommended the administration to recommend other options for the contract. Next is the committee spoke about the process and timeline for soliciting RFPs for the board attorney and auditing services to have contracts in place for July 1st. We recommended the supporting of that initiative of the process. 323-26 BOE business agenda review. We reviewed the agenda discussing the purchases, project payments, and the tentative budget resolution. The committee supported approval of the business agenda action items. The committee also informed of the high school partial roof replacement bid opening scheduled for March 18th. The committee also discussed the turf project and the concerns expressed by the Millburn for Climate Action Group. There's no recommendation at this time. The next meeting is announced for April 28th, 2026, and the meeting was adjourned at 7:45 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lawrence. Any questions or comments before we move on? Wonderful. And now we all get to enjoy the wonderful update for the student representative, Ms. DeTore.
Thank you. Good evening. I hope everyone had a great weekend and is ready for the week ahead. Tomorrow will be the final day of NJ GPA testing for juniors. Good luck to everyone finishing up. Just a quick reminder that SAT testing this spring will only be offered on May 2nd and June 6th, so be sure to register soon if you're planning to take the exam. Now we'd like to highlight some exciting achievements and events happening in our school community. Congratulations to the many students who were recognized in the Toshiba Exploravision STEM competition. Their innovative projects and creative problem solving continue to showcase the strength of Millburn STEM programs. We also want to recognize Millburn Robotics for an incredible season with multiple teams qualifying for the World Championships. This is a huge accomplishment and we wish them the best of luck as they compete on the global stage. In athletics, spring sports are gearing up and preparing for their first matchups of the season. Be sure to come out and support our teams as they begin competition. And finally, a reminder that junior prom will take place this Thursday. We hope everyone attending has a great time. Thank you and have a great evening.
Thank you very much for bringing up so many wonderful things going on in our community. Mr. Connolly, we'd love to hear your assistant superintendent report, please.
Great. Good evening, everyone. Just for the board at the dais today is your copy and hard copy of the Curriculum Connection, which just really further highlights many of the things going on in our classrooms and around it as we kind of move our initiatives forward. So this is a newsletter that goes out to our faculty and staff here. So that's for your review. Additionally, just on the presentation tonight, I just want to note that I think that the thing that we're most proud of is that the work really is not just done in isolation, but really is woven throughout the curriculum. And so hopefully this evening's presentation was able to represent that as an ongoing commitment to expanding our students' knowledge and appreciation for different cultures that exist here within and weaving that into the important lessons that they're learning in the curriculum. And then just additionally, a few more details on the State Robotics Championship. There are a record 5 VEX teams qualified for the World Championship in St. Louis. 7405R, Millburn Riptide is a three-peated as a state champion. On the Design Award, 7405M, Millburn Mayhem, tournament finalists and Think Award. 7405K, Millburn Kinetic, the Amaze Award. 7405V, Millburn Velocity with the World Champion Qualifier. And 7405N, Millburn Nebula, the World Championship Qualifier. FTC 23650, Millburn X finished top 18 in the state of New Jersey and qualified for one of the select premier events around the world. We wish them all the best of luck as they move forward. On March 11th, our staff had an early dismissal. The March 11th Professional Learning Day advanced the district's instructional goals through collaborative planning and targeted training. Select grades 3 to 5 educators continued with the IMSE Morphology Series to inform revisions to the word study, while K4 Science Program review began with an evaluation of mystery science, including an analysis of the anchor phenomenon, assessment, and pacing of vertical alignment. Elementary staff engaged in PLCs, and student services received training in CPI protocols and the NJTSS framework. At the secondary level, teams focused on refining and aligning assessment. Middle school ELA and science conducted the CER calibration, while social studies and world language developed performance-based assessments. High school departments engaged in discussions about grading practices. Health and PE supported grade 8 transition programming, and the tech facilitators and the library media specialists led digital literacy focused on the staff development. Millburn Odyssey of Mind, following up from my previous report on March 7th, Millburn had 11 amazing teams from 3 of our schools competing at the New Jersey Skylands Regional Odyssey of the Mind competition. It was held at Hillsborough Middle School. All of our Millburn students performed awesome teamwork, with great poise and wonderful creativity. Glenwood had 4 teams. 4 teams advanced to the state finals on March 28th. 3 teams came in first place, and 1 team came in third place. At Washington School, 5 teams, 4 teams advanced to the state finals on the 28th. 2 teams came in first place, and 2 teams came in second place, and 1 team came in fourth place. At South Mountain School, 2 teams advanced to the state finals on March 28th. 1 team came in second place, and 1 team came in third place. The state finals will be held on Saturday, March 28th at Princeton High School in Princeton, New Jersey. The first and second place teams from the state finals will advance to the world finals held on March 27th to May 27th to May 30th at Iowa State University in Ames, Iowa. STEAM Fest 2026 will presented by the Millburn Education Foundation, is a district-wide celebration of science, technology, and engineering, art, math for Millburn students in grades K through 12. Throughout March and April, students will engage in hands-on challenges and friendly competitions that foster creativity, problem-solving, and innovation. Be sure to sign up and join this exciting opportunity to explore new ideas, put your skills to the test. In-person events are scheduled for April 18th. The virtual challenge submissions are due on April 10th. Respectfully submitted, John Conley.
Thank you, Mr. Connolly. Any comments or questions before we move on? Yes, go ahead.
I
Ms.
don't know if I
Shivani?
missed this, but also the Adams family, do you want to give a shout out to them?
Absolutely. A big shout out to all of our students that performed in the Adams family. What a tremendous production, and what a great new facility that they have to work in. So thank you.
Not just the facility, but all the equipment around it too, which really you could really hear a pin drop in that theater. It was amazing. All right, so let's move on to public comments. Please state your name and address for the record. Public comments will be limited to 3 minutes. Thank you very much.
Hi, sorry. Good evening, and thank you for letting us speak. My name is Sakina Asim, and I'm joined by Hamza Asim and Rayan Nabi, and we're joined by the parents of Millburn students as well. We're here today as Muslim students to say thank you to the Board of Ed and Millburn Education's leadership for recognizing Eid as a school holiday. This really means a lot to us and our families. Eid's like one of the most important days in the Islamic calendar, and it starts with prayers, then turns into a day of just fun and family time. And we were eating special food and like celebrating together. It also gave us a lot of time to focus on being grateful, giving back, and connecting as a community. And being able to celebrate without worrying about tests the next day or having a homework due the next day really just made the day more meaningful for us. By recognizing Eid, you've helped Muslim students feel seen, respected, and included. It really shows that our school truly values everyone and wants all students to feel like they belong. So please accept the small Eid gift from the Muslims of the Millburn and Short Hills community. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Very well done. Very, very well done.
Good evening. My name is Jeffrey Feld, Poet Section. Again, I want to also give a shout out for the production of The Addams Family. I went with my wife because our kids played in the pit orchestra, the refurbished auditorium, because when my wife walked in, she saw the size of the pit orchestra, and she said, how is everyone going to be heard? But with the magic equipment, the production was unbelievable. First of all, good luck, Mr. Connolly. At the beginning, we used to slug it out, but I wish you the best of luck because it's an accomplishment of this board that someone goes on to be a superintendent of some other municipality. But a lot of the things we've discussed over the years is the sense of community. We honored an unsung hero earlier today, but it took me a little time to recognize when she talked about the death of her father, my relationship with her father, Anthony Braca. Because Anthony Braca, if you know the community, he fought the Main Street closure because of the Washington area, because the ambulances couldn't get through. Also, this week, past few days, we lost a generational leader, Elaine Becker. And I think we really have to understand, I feel like sometimes, she was like the age of my mother. She passed the torch to me, and we're passing the torch to a younger generation that's part of this board. And we should recognize that she always put the interests of the whole community first, and we had to remember that. We had to remember to be civil to each other, because as you look at social media, I'm the devil, according to many people in this community. As to the budget, we had to focus on it. Look at what's happened in Montclair. They did not pass both referendums. One referendum just lost by 8 votes. As to the turf field, I support the turf field, but I want to be concerned because today when we saw the slide, it only talked about $3 million. I hope is that the cap if it goes up. And one of the suggestions that I've been talking about, because you're taking money from a capital reserve, at some point you might have to replenish it. You know, sometimes we have to think out of the box. I've been throwing out a concept of maybe a conservation easement. Use the Oakley track, give a conservation easement, and get it out of the open space trust fund to preserve it. The reason I say that because today there was a notice in Montville to invade their open space tax. You have to pass an ordinance. That's a township committee issue, but that's something you might want to look at, that we maybe look at going back as not a joint use agreement, but a lease agreement to give us the opportunities to get to these open space. And to the rest of the community, in the next few weeks, we celebrate Holi, we celebrate the Muslim holidays, but in the next couple of weeks, the Jewish population and the Catholic Christian community will be celebrating high holidays. And just to reflect to everyone, their families, enjoy the holidays, enjoy what we have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Feld. Any other comments? We're all too polite here. I love that.
Good evening. My name is David Burstein. I live in West Orange, and I run a project called Price Reflect. We analyze publicly available board-authorized service rates across New Jersey school districts. Our data set now includes more than 20,000 rates from 42 districts, including Millburn. 2 findings stand out. First, authorized rates for similar services can vary dramatically across neighboring districts. Speech therapy contract rates in Essex County, for example, range from about $65 to $186 per hour. Second, the same vendor sometimes appears at different rates in different district contracts, something that only becomes visible when you look across districts. We've published these findings at pricereflect.com. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Any other comments?
Hi, my name is Nidia Arora. I live in Short Hills. Bear with me, my first time in a public comment section. So first, I want to thank you, all of you, because all of you have, in the past few months, years, have brought so many positive changes, improvements, and opened so many new pathways to our children in middle school, high school. I have a daughter who's a freshman in high school, and the issue today that I wanted to bring in front of the board is that the issue today that I want to bring to the board is with the new pathways that we have introduced, there is some places where we have left inconsistent improvements. So one such example I wanted to start mentioning, in 2024, we opened up double up math pathway for our freshman students in high school, right? Which is great. They were allowed to take geometry and algebra 2 at the same time in grade 9. That continued into 2025 school year when those freshmen moved to sophomore year. They were allowed to take, some freshmen were allowed to take courses where prerequisite was algebra 2, right? And such course was AP statistics, for example, right? Previously offered to juniors, but now this year, some sophomores were able to take that course because they met the prereq of algebra 2 in grade 9, right? Now my daughter, who is currently grade 9 student, was excited that, okay, with this, we are moving in a positive direction. So I will be able to take this course because I've got the grade in algebra 2. And when we asked math director, we were told no. Even though you have met the prereq, the grade restriction applies. We are only offering these courses to juniors and seniors. And when I asked the reason why, they said, we want to take a very measured, data-driven, and deliberate pacing on these new math pathways. I understand that, but I think we have some data here, right? This year we had some students who were allowed that exception. They took these new courses, so we have some data to learn from there. I'm asking, can we request to share that data and see if those students who were allowed this exception did well? That means new students who have already met the prerequisite will do well as well. So if we can share that data, that'll be great. And not just, data. I think our students at Millburn are great. My daughter's a part of the robotics team, a freshman robotics team who made words. In history, nobody has ever done that. So I think our students are great. They're capable of doing much more what other schools offer. And if we can open this gating and allow them these courses before, that, I think what I asked my daughter, why do you want to do this course? She said, I want to know, where my interests align. I want to know before what I want to do in future, right? By taking this course, I would know, am I interested in statistics? Can I, take some summer courses in data science? Why have to take this in junior year and know what my interests are later? So I just want to request the board, if we can share, be more transparent, share the data. If we are successful, allow it exception, this year, and be consistent with our approach for future years. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments? All right, I would like to open the floor to the board for discussion for the upcoming agenda items. Any comments or questions before we begin? Excellent. Okay, let's start off. May I have a motion and a second to approve instruction agenda items 1A through 1B? Ms. Longley Richards? Mr. Finkelstein? Any discussion? Mr. Stars, roll call, please.
Mr. Casson?
Yes.
Mr. Finkelstein?
Yes.
Ms. Wong?
Yes.
Mr. Lawrence?
Yes.
Ms. Longley Richards?
Yes.
Mr. Bigman?
Yes.
Ms. Shivani?
Yes.
Ms. Speltz?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Thank you. Personnel agenda items. May I have a motion and a second to approve personnel items 2A and 2B? Mr. Lawrence? Mr. Casson? Any discussion? Mr. Stars, roll call, please.
Mr. Finkelstein?
Yes.
Ms. Wong?
Yes.
Mr. Lawrence?
Yes.
Ms. Longley Richards?
Yes.
Mr. Bigman?
Yes.
Mr. Casson?
Yes.
Ms. Shivani?
Yes.
Ms. Speltz?
Yes. Dr. Diskin, would you like to add anything?
Sure. I'd like to take a moment to recognize the retirements of our district. For 21 years, Miss Monica Smallman will be retiring, and we greatly appreciate her contributions as the business teacher at the high school. She will be missed, and we wish her the very best of luck in retirement. And just also to recognize Mr. Steve Van Dam. He was one of the assistant principals. Now that we have our permanent replacement in place, he will be leaving us. So thank you for your service, Steve. And we all know that John is going to be moving up in the world, but I'm not going to celebrate him until the last meeting. You're not off the hook yet.
I second that. We have a lot of work to do between now and then. All right. May I have a motion and a second to approve business items 3A through 3J?
Yes, so can I just talk? Go ahead. No, get the motion.
Mr. Bigman? Ms. Longley Richards? Thank you.
So just to, J was the resolution to approve the tentative budget, so I have to read it since for some reason Google did me dirty. Resolved to approve the tentative school year 2026-2027 budget for submission to the county superintendent. Whereas the Millburn Township Board of Education must submit a fiscal year 2026-2027 school district budget to the Essex County Office of the Department of Education for review. Whereas it is necessary for the board to increase the general fund tax levy for the 2026-2027 school year above the 2% cap imposed by the state in order for it to meet the thorough and efficient education requirements to reflect increased healthcare costs of $3,653,160. And be it resolved that the board approves and authorizes the application to the Commissioner of Education to increase the general fund tax levy for the 2026-2027 school year by $3,653,160 for increased healthcare costs. And be it further resolved that the board approves and authorizes the transfer of $300,000 from maintenance reserve to the general fund for required maintenance projects. And be it further resolved that the board approves and authorizes the transfer of $580,245 from capital reserve to the general fund capital outlay for identified capital projects. And now therefore be it resolved to approve a fiscal year 2026-2027 school district budget for submission to the Essex County Office of the Department of Education for review. General fund budget $117,983,823. Special revenue fund $2,113,235. Debt service fund $6,781,578 for a grand total of $126,878,636. Local tax levy for the general fund, $105,798,669. Special revenue fund, local tax levy, 0. Debt service fund, local tax levy, $4,465,308, for a total tax levy of $110,263,977. Be it further resolved that in accordance with New Jersey Administrative Code 6A:23A-7.3, the board hereby establishes the following amounts as maximum travel expenditures as funded by local and state monies that shall not be exceeded or approved for the balance of the 2025-26 school year and the 2026-27 school year. Total amount budgeted for travel and conferences 25-26, $125,000. Total amount spent or approved year to date 2025-26, $29,452.38. Total amount budgeted for travel and conferences 2026-2027, $125,000. Be it further resolved that regular business mileage for administrators and members of the staff, including but not limited to faculty who teach in more than one school, child study team members, secretaries, etc., being reimbursed at the New Jersey Office of Management and Budget, NJOMB, circular mileage rate in effect at the time of travel at a cost not to exceed $1,500 per person annually.
Thank you, Mr. Stars. Any discussion or questions on these items? Yes, Ms. Longley Richards.
So since we've used so little of the fund for this year, what does that extra money go? Does it go back to like the capital fund or fund balance?
Well, that's only used at this point in time. You know, typically people submit their travel reimbursements at year end.
Okay.
So, but
It could be up to-
anything that was not used would go into fund balance, yes.
Fund balance, okay, thank you.
All right. If there are no other comments or questions, roll call, please, Mr. Stars.
Mr. Wong,
Oh, yes.
Mr. Lawrence?
Yes.
Ms. Longley Richards?
Yes.
Mr. Bigman?
Yes.
Mr. Casson?
Yes.
Mr. Finkelstein?
Yes.
Ms. Shivani?
Yes.
Ms. Speltz?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Thank you. May I have a motion and a second to approve special services items 4A and 4B? Mr. Finkelstein? Ms. Shivani? Any questions or discussion? Mr. Stars, roll call, please.
Mr. Lawrence?
Yes.
Ms. Longley Richards?
Yes.
Mr. Bigman?
Yes.
Mr. Casson? Mr. Finkelstein?
Yes.
Ms. Wong?
Yes.
Ms. Shivani?
Yes.
Ms. Speltz?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Thank you. Are there any old business items we would like to discuss? New business items? All right, public comments. The same rules as previously. Please state your name and address for the record. Public comments will be limited to 3 minutes. Any takers? Okay, board member comments. Anyone? Love to hear from anyone? Ms. Shivani?
Yeah, I mean, I think just keeping, I was having this discussion yesterday with someone. You know, obviously we have a community that's very involved, and there's always demands and there's always expectations. And I just want to make a note of the community that, as you've seen from the budget and from the tax levy and the state funding being cut, and the utilities probably are going to increase, any special requests or any things that create stress on the system, on the time of our staff, is ultimately going to have an impact on the budget. So just, you know, want everybody to be mindful of that. Unfortunately, we are going to have tough times ahead. So I appreciate the fact that we are on top of it, but I think it's important that the community sort of bears with us as we sail through these challenges.
Oh, well said. I would also like to add to that we're really fortunate in this district to be supported by a number of organizations that help fill some of those gaps where possible, from Millburn Education Foundation, from our PTOs, from, for example, the Millburn Short Hills Chinese Association, who were helping with one event, and also Caring Kids is another organization, and they're currently looking for volunteers to help with activities that are going on. So if anyone is interested in volunteering and being active in the schools and helping make sure our kids are well-rounded, wonderful human beings, please reach out to Dorothy Kelly. And if you don't know her, let me know and I will connect you. Mr. Casson, yes.
Thank you. I'm going to just do a plug for those who are at home, I think, for STEAMFest. As the former co-chair for the last 2 years, running STEAMFest was a great pleasure, and this year looks to be promising and exciting as well. It really is, as Mr. Connolly said, a opportunity for kids to joyfully compete in challenges to both show off and enhance their skills in STEAM activities. And it is a really great opportunity to get involved in the kids and to get people excited about STEAM activities that goes beyond what's done in the classroom. So I really recommend kids get involved, and parents, please volunteer.
Please volunteer and donate. Thank you. Yes, Ms. Shivani.
Yes, I did want to thank the administration, Mrs. Stars, and everybody involved in getting the auditorium project done on time. I think the auditorium is fantastic. We've all seen the equipment. But anyone who's worked with a contractor knows how difficult it is, so really appreciate getting that done on time. Thanks.
I'll second that also. Any other comments or questions or? All right. Could I have a motion and a second to adjourn the meeting? So many more takers this time. Mr. Lawrence, Mr. Bigman? All in favor? Any opposed? This meeting is adjourned.